Sociocultural theory. Ever wonder why people are the way they are? Have you ever seen someone and thought to yourself, what made them do that? The sociocultural idea enables us to view people from a fresh perspective. The theory explains well how all the inner learning occurs in the brain and how it develops. Hello! In this video, we'll talk about sociocultural theory and all the ways it may be used to better explain human learning behavior. What is sociocultural theory? What is its purpose? Which elements have an impact on people while they are young? How can educators use it to inform their instruction? Well, stick around till the end as we answer all these questions and more as we delve into today's topic. Without further ado, let's begin. First of all, let me give you an idea of sociocultural theory from an educational perspective. It mainly refers to the perspective that social and cultural factors have a significant influence on children. The foundation for this concept was established by Lev Vygotsky, a Russian psychologist. Each person's mind is a blank canvas, as they are born with no skills, knowledge, or abilities whatsoever. It's not like our brains are in a non-functioning state, though. It's just that our brains come with empty storage that keeps on processing and storing new information and knowledge into it. There are some inherent capabilities and built-in instincts, however. There's a reason we are called social beings. Our society is what we become. Our interaction, environment, and several other factors come into play in shaping our overall social outlook. Furthermore, we all have a natural tendency to adopt some habits from the community, culture, and surroundings in which we live. As we grow up, we meet different people. Although we are unaware of it, these individuals play an important role in our cognitive growth. Vygotsky believed that our interactions with people who are older or more knowledgeable than us have an impact on how we think, learn, and make sense of the world as children, which continues into adulthood. He also emphasized the distinctions between individuals from various cultures. I know what you must be thinking right now. What's so confusing and complex about this theory? It all sounds so basic, and all this must be common knowledge. Well, if such a thought did come to your mind, then let me tell you, you are not the only one. Today, this concept, even if you're not exactly aware of the theory, is common knowledge. But this concept was not so popular among people in the 1920s. The behavioralists of that era thought that each individual's behavior was influenced by their responses and exposure to stimuli. They believed that the entire process which resulted in people acting in a particular way was irrelevant. Contrary to what the behavioralists focused on, Vygotsky attempted to understand the underlying forces that shaped individuals. According to Vygotsky, make-believe or pretend play was also crucial for development. Children perform new roles in this play and evaluate how the characters in these roles behave based on their actions. Kids behave as they would in real life when playing these games, which is only feasible because of what they have seen in the roles and behaviors of their social and cultural role models. I'm sure you would want to know the purpose of this theory, right? So, this theory actually deals with the growth of human beings. This theory primarily focuses on a person's behavior through time, how that person changes over time, how their attitude changes, what transitions their personality from mere innocent child to whatever they become in the later stages of their lives, etc. Throughout all of life's stages, including childhood, adolescence, and maturity, there is a tendency for behavior to be altered. Let me go into more depth regarding the ideas that Vygotsky's theory is based on. Mental functions. So, there are two categories of mental functions. Lower mental functions are those that every child possesses at birth, whereas higher mental functions are those that children develop through socialization. As humans, we keep growing older, and our social interactions keep on becoming more diverse. This is how our complex mental functions are born. You must have heard people with greater social interaction are most emotionally and mentally intelligent. Now you know how. Psychological skills. Then we have psychological skills, the abilities that originally appeared at the societal level, also known as inter-psychological, eventually end up being grasped or absorbed at the individual level, which is also called intra-psychological, once a person has acquired superior mental functioning. Near development zone. Near development zone functions are those abilities that we're still working on developing. It explains the discrepancy between an individual's present rate of growth and their expected level of development. For instance, it can be observed in the things children don't accomplish on their own until they are mature enough to do so. Learning is facilitated when a person is exposed to constant, slightly higher than their current abilities. If it's too tough, frustration occurs, and if it's too easy, there is no growth. The next level of learning must occur in the sweet spot, the ZPD. The zone of proximal development is defined as the space between what a learner can do without assistance and what a learner can do with adult guidance or in collaboration with more capable peers. This also applies to adulthood. As you become older, you are exposed to complex matters of this world, and learning continues to happen within the ZPD. Thinking tools. Thinking tools are another concept. It refers to all the societally built methods used to promote or improve thinking. There are two fundamental kinds, which are psychological and technical tools. Language, numbers, rules, and symbols are examples of psychological tools, and technical tools comprise a variety of materials, including equipment, paper, machines, and more. Meditation. Then we have meditation. It displays how a person interacts with others throughout time, through both instrumental and social meditations. Instrumental meditations are conceptual instruments that can be either psychological or technical. The relationship that people have with other people are defined as social meditations. For example, fathers, mothers, siblings, teachers, community members, and mentors. To help you understand the concept of sociocultural theory better, I'll tell you about its applications. Take a classroom as an example. If we're talking about sociocultural theory, then we're going to say that relationships between students and teachers are cultivated in the classroom to enhance learning. The relationships promote social interaction and active engagement in educational activities. As they complete activities that involve talking, listening, and observing, students learn new information. Without even realizing it, a sociocultural theory is commonly used by teachers. The majority of the time, it is assessing a child's current abilities and then considering what they might be able to achieve with education and guidance in an effort to push their limits. In the next example, let me tell you how the different approaches of the parents affect the child. Along with the cultural aspects, parents' perspectives can have an impact on how a child learns to ride a bike. A parent might believe that their child should learn by doing quickly in a particular society. Before sending the child down a slope, they take off their training wheels. Some parents believe that they should be present at every stage of the process to safeguard the child from harm. Another set of parents may observe while the child takes charge of the lesson. They'll wait till the child asks to take off the training wheels. These different approaches play a big role in how learning occurs. Moving on to how the whole sociocultural theory compares to cognitive theory. Sociocultural theory discusses learning as a group activity, while cognitive theory focuses more on learning on an individual level. A more accurate statement would be that learning is entirely dependent on a person's mental processes, according to the cognitive framework, making it more focused on how a human mind functions, rather than how society and culture affect our growth. All right, so now I'm going to tell you why sociocultural theory is so important. In general, sociocultural ideas or approaches emphasize the significance of mentors in shaping who we become. It goes well beyond parents and teachers to include community leaders and other role models. One explanation for this is that our minds don't just develop or learn when we are consciously doing so. Development is always taking place when we are not actively doing it. It takes place in the subconscious. The hardest challenge while holding one of these positions is comprehending all of this. Every time we interact with a child, we have an impact on their growth. In short, sociocultural theory places a lot of focus on the position that culture plays in this particular process, and can help us understand how our traditions and customs may influence future generations. According to sociocultural theory, children pick up things from their culture and the society they live in. Their contacts with mentor-like people significantly affect them. This theory is based on 5 concepts: mental functions, psychological skills, near development zone, thinking tools, and meditation. That is a wrap on this video. We hope you liked it, and if you did, make sure to press the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe to our channel to check out more mini lessons on educational topics. If you have any questions regarding sociocultural theory, make sure to write them in the comments section below. You can also tell us the topics that you would like to see videos on in our form in the video description. Educators, thank you for your service. Until the next time, adios, jamata, ciao, bye-bye.